Musk, ditch the animal tests. Ordinarily, the poor translation from animals to humans means that the treatment simply fails to produce clinical benefit in humans or causes minor side effects that weren't detected in animals. On occasion, though, the effects are catastrophic, like when 5 human volunteers taking the experimental drug fialuridine died from liver damage, despite the drug appearing safe in tests on mice, rats, dogs and monkeys at doses hundreds of times higher than those administered. The human relevance of animal tests is particularly low in the field of neurology. One potential application of the Neuralink device is treating people with Alzheimer's disease, but history is littered with examples of animals being cured of an artificially induced Alzheimer's-like disease, only for the cure to fail in human clinical trials. The same goes for stroke and muscular dystrophy, where, despite decades of intensive research using animals, no effective treatments or cures exist. To stay up to date with latest top stories, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel by clicking the button above this video. Simulated. Recent developments in science and technology have seen an explosion in cutting-edge research that advances knowledge without harming animals. Cerebral organoids, mini brains derived from human cells and grown in the laboratory, are already used widely to understand human brain biology and disease and test the effectiveness of treatments. Cerebral organoids derived from humans with Alzheimer's spontaneously develop the hallmarks of the condition and are therefore likely to be a much better model for the disease than animals. Earlier this year, in a paper that sounds more science fiction than science, Australian scientists described embedding human cell-derived neural networks in a simulated world, mimicking the arcade game Pong. The networks were able to not only play the game, but improve their performance in response to feedback. Trials. Musk is often cited as a paradigm disruptor, but his company's adherence to the tired, old paradigm of testing on animals reveals a lack of imagination. We understand that regulators typically require results from animal tests before permitting a drug or device to enter human clinical trials, something that cruelty-free international scientists are striving to change by working with authorities to find safe routes to human trials that use fewer or no animals. But there is no justification we can see for the seemingly excessive level of animal tests conducted by Neuralink. The company has experimented on and killed around 1,500 animals since 2018, according to the Reuters article. Neuralink insists that it only conducts confirmatory tests on animals and only when all other options have been exhausted. There is evidence to suggest that the company conducts exploratory surgeries and has actively tried to cover up this fact. Reuters describes employees ordered to retroactively scrub the word exploration from study titles and avoid using it in future. Rival company Synchron, in contrast, already has its device in human clinical trials after having conducted tests on around 80 animals, still 80 too many, but a vast improvement on Neuralink's 1,500 and counting. Animal-free. Neuralink is a high-profile example of animals suffering and dying in vain. But this issue is by no means specific to that company or to the US. Around 3 million tests on animals are conducted each year in British laboratories, including at least 150,000 that we believe have a widely accepted non-animal alternative or are otherwise redundant. This latter figure does not include the vast numbers of animal tests that are conducted for things like research into recreational drug use, duplicate existing work, or cause extreme harm to the animals involved, let alone the million or more surplus animals who are bred and killed each year without even being used in an experiment. For the sake of scientific progress and animals in laboratories, we need a plan to accelerate the transition to animal-free research and testing, and that's where Cruelty-Free International's Number Target Zero campaign comes in. In the UK, we're calling on the UK government to devise an ambitious strategy to bring experiments on animals to an end, led by a dedicated ministerial position. Compassionate UK citizens can support our campaign by writing to their MP. The future of science is animal-free, and we urge Musk and others to embrace non-animal methods and usher in that future as quickly as possible.